Hello everyone, my name is Rashmi Mangla. I'm working as an assistant professor for the BBA department of St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. The subject that I'll be teaching today is e-commerce. We'll begin with unit 4 today, and this is our first lecture for unit 4. The topics that we'll be covering today are virtual organization and its meaning, characteristics of virtual organization, advantages and disadvantages of virtual organization, and types of virtual organization. Alright, let's begin with the first one, that is virtual organization. Now, a virtual organization is one whose employees are spread geographically and communicate via phone, email, and the internet. The virtual organization is a flexible network of independent entities linked by telecommunication and computing technologies to share skills, knowledge, and access to expertise in non-traditional ways. See, basically, virtual organization is an organization, it has its business without walls. That is, its main goal is to deliver highest quality products at the lowest possible price. It is an organization where employees are spread geographically. That means it can be run throughout the world. So it does not have its boundaries. Its boundaries are limitless. Alright? It is a flexible network where independent entities are working. There are different independent organizations who are linked together. And how are they linked? Maybe via through network systems, via telecommunication, and they share whatever skill one organization is having, whatever knowledge one organization is having, they share it with each other in order to fulfill their organizational goals. So basically it is a form of cooperation involving companies or institutions or individuals delivering a product or service on the basis of common business understanding. They all should have a common goal, and then only they can work together. Alright? So their main aim is to provide innovative, high quality products and services instantaneously in response to customer demands. So their main aim is that they have to provide high quality products. They have to meet customer demands as quickly as possible. Now, such organizations, computer and telecommunications, they substitute for physical location. For example, the companies which are actually set up, alright, let's say we can talk about bank, Axis Bank. It has its own workspace, it has its physical existence, right? But these kind of virtual organizations, they do not have any physical existence. They only work via internet, or they only work via telecommunication. So that is the main, that is the main point, that they exist solely through internet. Then some of the examples we can take for virtual organizations are Amazon.com or Buy.com. They all are virtual companies that exist only on the web. For example, Buy.com, it is a leading internet superstore and low price dealer, sells a broad range of categories including computer hardware, software, consumer electronic, books, videos, etc. Those all things are sold, but everything is sold online. Alright. Same way, Amazon.com is also working. We are very familiar with Amazon. Everybody is familiar. It sells various accessories, personal or office related or groceries. Everything is being sold, and the whole process goes on online. There is no physical existence of Amazon.com. Have we seen any shop? Amazon ki koi shop have we seen? No. There is no physical existence. So all these are virtual organizations who exist only on the web. I hope this is clear to children. Now we'll move on to the characteristics of virtual organization. First characteristic, members separated geographically. See, in each geographical location, they have a certain set of members. Amazon is working throughout the world. So the members who are working in India, those same members are not the ones who are working in US. So it has different members who are separated geographically on the basis of their location. Then work conducted via a networked computer. The whole work, as I told previously also, the whole work is solely existed through internet. All the work is done via telecommunication and via internet. Everything is online. Then appear to outsiders as a physical entity. The people who are not much aware about it. they think that it has a physical existence, but does it actually have a physical existence? क्या Amazon की कोई शॉप है? No. Amazon का टैग लाइन है अपनी दुकान, बट उसकी कोई एक्चुअली दुकान है? No. There is no sort of shop that they are running. It's just an online store which they are running. All right. Then improved communication leads to integration of design, product, marketing, sales, service, etc. In these kind of organizations, there is improved communication. For example, whenever we have any query, so we can just directly contact the customer care and directly connect via them. And it leads to, see, whenever we have a query, we tell them, and that is how they work on their skills. If they found some of the queries which are common in quite a few customers, so they work on those things. So that is how improved communication leads to integration of design, not only apart from the customer care department, but amongst themselves also, amongst their departments also. They can communicate easily via internet, via email, via telecommunication, and those quick communications leads to integration of design. They can integrate the design, they can integrate the production or marketing, sale and service. Then vague organizational boundaries. Now, as I already told you, there are no organizational boundaries that they follow. It is a boundaryless organization. They have neither horizontal nor vertical, no sorts of boundaries are there in virtual organization. So it is just pretended that Amazon is running only in India, but Amazon is running as well as in America also, or maybe in some other country also. So they can run throughout the countries. Same person might be running, but they have different operators who are performing the task. Then goal oriented, most important one. Virtual organizations are goal oriented. As I told you, their main goal is to provide innovative products and as quickly as possible, as instantly as possible in response to customer demands. We would have seen Amazon Prime is going on, isn't it? So what features does it provide? It provides us quick delivery, most importantly. So they have, their main aim is to serve to customer needs and as quickly as possible. Then their goal is to fulfill the customer demands, and these organizations are goal oriented. Their main task is to work on the goals assigned to them. So these are a few characteristics of virtual organization. Apart from these, there are some simple characteristics also. For example, power, flexibility, multidisciplinary, then customer orientation, absence of apparent structure, there is no structure that they follow, sharing of information. So all these are some other characteristics apart from these main characteristics. Alright. Then next are advantages of virtual organization. When we come to the advantages, the advantages are cost savings, leverage global talent, increase productivity and higher productivity, reduce time to market, new opportunities. Apart from children, in the third point, apart from higher productivity, they also have higher profits. Alright. Now let's take the first one first, cost saving. Now when we talk about cost saving, obviously virtual organizations save a lot of cost. How? Because they do not have any physical existence. I told you, physically वो exist नहीं करते. There is no shop that we have to buy. There is no office space that we have to rent. So those rental charges, electricity charges which we might have to pay when we would have taken the shop on rent, the bill, water bill, electricity bill, or any traveling allowance for our executives, any expenses on lease, so all those costs are saved. So biggest advantage of virtual organization is that it saves a lot of cost. Then leverage global talent. Virtual organizations, they allow virtual team, basically they allow the whole organization to look for talent beyond their country of origin. For example, there is a company which has been started in India, and now it is trying to just spread its scope in other countries as well. So it will not only hire people from India, but it can also target people from outside countries also to join hands with them and to work with them. So there are no boundaries, or there are no strict rules and regulations that they need to strict within their boundaries. So they can just bring together experts and specialists from across the globe to work together on a common project. So leverage global talent means they can hire people from over all the world. Then increased productivity and higher profits. Members of virtual team tend to have higher focus on task at hand. Basically, the members of virtual team, their main focus is on the task which has been given to them. And as a practice, virtual team supports flatter organization structure. They support a flatter organization structure which is very simple, which can go on very easily. So the members do not have to deal with unnecessary bureaucracy. There is no unnecessary bureaucracy that when until and unless a decision has been taken by a higher authority, they cannot do anything. So that kind of things do not exist here. And because bureaucracy, what it does is it slows down the decision making. So in virtual organization, bureaucracy doesn't exist, and that is why our productivity is increased. And because productivity is increased, so what we will have? Productivity जब ज़्यादा होगी, so we will ultimately have higher profits. Alright. Then reduced time to market. Now again, because virtual organizations work globally, so there might be one single project on which different teams of different countries are working. So that means एक ही project पे people can work 24/7. For example, a team of Chennai is working on a project from morning 9 to 6, and on the same project a team from US is working from the rest of the time from 6 to let's say 4 o'clock. Alright. So again, on the same project different teams are working 24/7. पूरे दिन एक ही project पे काम चल रहा है. So obviously our time will be less. Less time will be taken for the project to get completed. So this shortens the product development time. Product will be developed fast in response to the demand. So demand will be fulfilled quickly, and because the product will be developed fast, so the time to market the product, to reach it to the market, it will be reduced. कम टाइम में ही प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में जल्दी अवेलेबल होगा, बी इट ग्लोबल मार्केट्स और लोकल मार्केट्स. इट विल बी अवेलेबल to fulfill the demands of the people. Then newer opportunities, again if we see at societal level, basically at the level of society, virtual team have created new opportunities for people who are less mobile. The people who are very reluctant to relocate themselves, maybe because of family issues or because of some physical challenge, जो लोग एक जगह से दूसरी जगह relocate easily नहीं हो पाते. So for them, these organizations are of great advantage, because without any physical movement, they can just do their work from the place where they are. So any task that does not require physical presence of a person and which can be supported by communication technology gives an opportunity for many deserving candidates. So all these are the advantages of virtual organization. Now let's see some disadvantages, or we can say demerits of virtual organization. Now these are cost of technology, conflicts, lack of trust and collaboration, social isolation, then a need for increased focus on communication, and reputational risks. Now let's talk about the first one, cost of technology. First thing, again, because virtual organizations, they entirely work on the basis of technology, they are basically solely run through internet. So obviously that technological advancements, they will incur us extra cost, and that extra cost that we might incur at times, that cost might be too high. So again, cost of technology becomes a disadvantage because we are incurring quite a high cost here. See, basically the successful working of virtual team is supported by efficient use of multiple communication technologies. Various communication technologies we might have to use. For example, instant messaging is required, emails, video conferencing is required, and we need to purchase these technologies when we are running on a large scale. And so the cost which is associated with all these installations and maintenance, that is at times too high, and that is why it is a disadvantage. Then conflicts or lack of trust and collaboration. The cultural differences that, because in a virtual organization people are working from overall the world, so there are cultural differences between the members of virtual teams which might give rise to a lot of conflicts amongst them. For example, let's say in one team is working from America and they are writing a very straightforward email. They are describing a bad situation because they have a tendency that they just describe everything straightforwardly. But same thing will be considered as impolite by an Indian member of the team, where there is an Indian team and they would consider it as very impolite. So again, this could lead to conflicts amongst themselves, or a sense of mistrust might be there. So, and because of all these difficulties in fruitful collaboration arises, and which is again, very important for the success of virtual team function, that fruitful collaboration is required. But because it is, it is not possible for them to collaborate when they have conflicts, so this becomes a disadvantage, because it is running over all the world. So the people need to learn, they need to learn to, get connected with each other, to understand each other's cultures. So that is required. The next is social isolation. Now, as we know, the organizations which have physical existence, the people are coming there every day. रोज लोग आते हैं, रोज they go, and when we meet people every day, we form a level of relation, with each other. We form a level of connect with each other. So they're not only our colleagues, but some of them are the ones who become our good friends also. But in virtual organizations, people are working via internet, so there is no social connection between people. Basically, many members of virtual teams are adversely affected by the lack of physical interaction. There is no physical interaction, face to face कोई communication नहीं है. They are just communicating via phone or email. So these communications which are mainly virtual environment, and it is mainly task oriented also, because they are just having the conversation which is related to the task to be performed. There is no other emotional support, which they are giving to each other, or any just personal stuff which they share. There is nothing such in virtual organization. So in today's society, where job is an important social force for most of us, because as I told, because many of our workplace colleagues are also our good friends or close friends also at times. So in the case of virtual organization, this gives a not so good feeling of social isolation, because we do not have a physical connect with the people, and it can, in some cases, it also might lead to stress, and because when people are stressed, that might affect the productivity also. Then next are security and compliance issues. Working remotely means passing a lot of data back and forth. When we are working remotely, when we are working continuously, we are passing a lot of data. That means lot of data, lot of information is being transferred from here to there. And in some industries like health or financial, this might be risky, because if there is an organization which has just started up, and there is an organization which is already existing from quite few years, so the old organization cannot easily trust the new one, and they might have security and compliance issues in sharing the information with each other. Then next one, a need for increased focus and communication. Again, because that our teams will not be able to pass information between themselves, like they would be an office environment. In a virtual organization, direct communication is not possible. Face-to-face communication is not there. So we need to give them tools and policies where they can actively communicate with each other, whether that means setting up a Slack channel or some daily calls or via email or any other communicating platform. We need to provide them so that they can communicate, and this communication plays a key role in the success of a virtual organization. Last one is reputational risk. Now this arises, like for example, there is an organization which has been working for quite many years as a virtual organization. बहुत सालों से काम कर रही है, एक पुरानी organization है. So, and there is a new organization. So, and which is again poorly running virtual team. It has a team which is not running very good, and it can lead to knocks to the reputation. When an organization team, when a virtual team is not running properly, it will affect the reputation of the entire team. And maybe if an old organization tries to merge its its work with a new one, and the new one is not working properly, so the effect of the inefficient work done by the new organization will have on the reputation of the old one also. नई वाली जो काम inefficiently करेगी, if it is merged with an old organization which has a good repo in the market, so it will affect the reputation of the new one also. So some potential customers may be wary of working with a company that has a virtual office with remote employees. So there might be some old customers who would always prefer to work with the organization which has a virtual office with remote employees, and may not take the companies which are starting up, which are startups. They not might take up them as seriously. So reputational risks are there in virtual organization. So these are all the disadvantages. You can just jot down these points. These are the key points. Next we move on to types of virtual organizations. Now there are 4 types of virtual organizations: alliance organization, displaced organization, invisible organization, and truly virtual organization. Now when we talk about alliance organization, now basic meaning of alliance is there, when we merge together, when 2 or 3 of organizations, they unite together or they form an association for mutual benefit. Mutual benefit means they for an overall benefit of all of them, कि सबका benefit होना चाहिए. So the organizations which join in together with other organization and form an alliance, form a group, so that they can get a common goal fulfilled, those all organizations are alliance organizations. Now just as the walls with an organization are falling, so the walls among organizations are falling too. Now there might be some things which an individual organization is not being able to do, and वही काम कुछ और organizations भी हैं जो नहीं कर पा रही होंगी, and that is why the result is that we need to do virtual cooperation. We need to cooperate with each other. So rather than staff up, instead of hiring new people, what we do is we join hands with other organization. हम अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में नए लोगों को हायर करने की जगह व्हाट वी डू इज वी गो एंड जॉइन इन विद अदर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस. नाउ व्हाट यू नीड टू डू इज यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड योर कोर कॉम्पिटेंसीज. You need to understand your own competencies ki what all things our organization can do, and we need to unite with such companies जिनके पास बाकी टैलेंट होंगे. जो हमारी कंपनी के पास टैलेंट है, हम वैसी ही कंपनी के साथ यूनाइट नहीं होंगे. We will unite with such kind of company which has got some other talent जो हमारे पास नहीं है. So then only we have the benefit of uniting with each other. So in the case of alliance organization, we basically unite with our other organizations so that we can share our talents with each other, and the talents of both the organization can help in fulfilling a common goal of both of them. Then these alliance organizations, they are built along horizontal networks between business partners. Like for example, there is one person running one business, there is another person running another business, and if they both feel that uniting their business together will earn a lot of profit to both of them, so they can do that, and the kind of organization that they'll form is called alliance organization. Now next one is displaced organization. Now displaced organization, it can be defined as one whose members are geographically apart, usually working by computer, email and groupware, while appearing to others to be a single unified organization with a real physical location. Now what it actually means is, it is that organization where members are geographically apart. लोग अलग अलग एरिया से काम कर रहे हैं. One is working from Delhi, another is working from Mumbai, another is working from Chennai. They are working from different parts, maybe of one country or from other countries as well. And they are working by computer, email and groupware. But they might be appearing to others. बाकी लोगों को लगेगा that they are working as a single unified organization, and they have a real physical location which actually is not there, but it just appears. It just gives an appearance that it has a physical location. And how will they communicate? They might be communicating via video conferencing and teleconferencing. They are the use of real-time video links to allow participants to see and hear who are not physically in same place. So that is how we communicate, using video conferencing or teleconferencing. So in general, we can say that the displaced is one which act as a single organization. Displaced organization कौन सी organization है which works as a single organization despite the geographical displacement of its members. Its members are not working together, वो displaced हैं, they are in different locations, but still they work as a team unitedly. Then this is displaced organization. Next is invisible organization. In contrast to the alliance and displaced organization, the invisible organization is characterized not so much by scattered bricks and mortar as by the lack of any physical structure at all. These kind of companies, they exist solely in its products and services. They again do not have much of their physical existence. There is no physical existence in invisible organization. They exist only in its product. वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ अपने प्रोडक्ट और सर्विसेज के लिए ही जानी जाती हैं. Which are sold, and how are those products or services provided? They are provided via some sort of electronic commerce, e-commerce के through their services are rendered or provided. For example, there is a direct line insurance in UK which has no high street branches. उसकी कोई branches नहीं है. There is no physical appearance, and it is doing all its business via telephone, needing only a building to house the people. It just requires a building where its telecommunication structure can work, जहाँ पे लोग सिर्फ calls attend कर सकते हैं, and everything is being run via the telephonic conversations only. So these kind of organizations are invisible organizations. Then next is truly virtual organization. Now this type of virtual organization, it combines all other three forms. तीनों का combination जो है, that is truly virtual organization, where virtuality, using alliance, displacement and invisibility to create a flexible firm capable of fast growth and rapid changes of direction. When all these three things are combined, we form a flexible firm which is capable, जो capable है काफ़ी fast growth की, and there is rapid changes of direction. The internet-based retailer Amazon.com, as we already know, again it is a kind of truly virtual organization. It uses alliance with publishers, book wholesalers. It uses the alliance with them. It is displaced in that one visit. It from anywhere in the world. It is being run in all across the world. So that means there are people who are working geographically from different locations. And again, it is invisible also, क्योंकि उसकी कोई physical existence भी नहीं है. That is viewed by the customers. So all the three features of all the three types of organizations are present in truly virtual organization. इन तीनों के features से combine होकर जो organization बनती है, it is called truly virtual organization. So children, this was the concept that we were supposed to be doing for today. And now there are a few questions which you have to do. These questions you can note them down and you can solve these questions. What is virtual organization? Explain its features. Explain the different types of virtual organization. What are the advantages and disadvantages of virtual organization? In case you have any doubt, we can connect via Google Meet. Just complete these questions and just note down the points whichever were there in the whole slide. We're done for today, children. Thank you.